see. I think we are live. Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's Gloria of Loving the Work You Do. And it's been a while. I haven't released any podcast in a while. And um, life has just been really busy. And at some point during the year when I was working on my goals and visions for the year, I really just wanted to do YouTube videos. And the reason is with the podcast, I haven't been able to put as much out there. Again, there's a lot of pre planning, but with this one's, meaning the YouTube, I can just come here and do a live video and have my pre recorded script available. So just bear with me. My background is not like it used to be. And I am slowly, and excuse if you can hear the car noise, there will be a lot of that. And so, excuse me in advance. Um, what was I saying? So, my background isn't how it used to be, but in the future, it'll look better. Um, it will look even better. But for now, um, bear with me. Can you see my mirror? I feel like I want it to show a little bit more. Okay, let's see. All right, that's good. So tonight, um, today, we are going to be talking about what I am calling the part two of my journal, what my journal can help you do. So this is like a second part of it. And I'll just go through some of the things, and I'll also show you what I have been able to use my journal for. And so I as we begin, let me just reintroduce myself to you. If you don't know me, my name is Gloria Mokbilola Fagbemi, and I am the founder and owner of She Loves Good Things. And it's really picked up in terms of direction in the past couple of months. And that's because I've been on a journey since forever to figure out what my my calling is. So even though I work a 9 to 5, I have just been one of those people that has felt that urge and just felt like they've had something, a calling from a young age, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. So I have done a lot of other things, but it's always just felt like I hadn't done what I was supposed to do. Again, I am a budget analyst by day, and in meaning that I work in the finance and accounting profession. My first degree, though, is in comparative religions, and I got that degree in Nigeria, the University of Ilorin, Kwara State. And I have an MBA from Strayer University, and I also have a master's in professional accounting from the same university, Strayer University. And I'm just giving you a little bit of a history so you'll know that, like, when I share the things that I share about, it comes from a lot of experience. In addition to having all of those, have been lucky. The way I see it, it's luck to be part of someone who just loved to volunteer, and that gave me like a background to a lot of things. And I've also been part of like church plants and startup for a very dear friend, and I feel like that helped me. I also have been working on my own business, so for the and trying to find this calling thing for the past 5 years. I feel like that gave me a lot of experience to to be able to come here and do this talk. Most especially, um, my journey started in 2015 when I finally got my divorce that I wanted. And for some reason, the light bulb went on, and I was like, okay, what the heck? Like, I do not know anything about myself, like what my favorite color is. And so my journey started that way, where I wanted to know what I used to love before I had kids and before I became a wife. And this is 2022. And that's why I said, like, in the last couple of months, everything has picked up much, much better for me than it ever had in the past. So that's just a little bit about me. Um, and with that, I know that my calling leans towards helping people um, move towards their goals and move towards their vision in life. And that could be anything. It could be that you're trying to get a new job. It could be that you're trying to step up in your level. It's that you need to change your money mindset. I will be that person that will be like a point of contact for you, and then you can do the leveling up in your game. Guys, I am recording. Okay, those were my kids. Hopefully, you didn't hear anything they said. Um, I will try to edit that out later, maybe. Um, so I'll be that go-to person. I've had a lot of people come to my vision boards in the past, people who wanted to remodel their kitchen, people who wanted to um, start their own businesses, people who wanted to get a new job. But for me, just going on this journey, which at the end of the day is like a personal development journey, has been one of the best for me, because in it, I have learned how to um, kind of own my inner voice. I know when I'm like not serving my higher self, when I'm betraying myself. And then I know how long I can do it for, and like to bail out of it. And that could be in anything. It could be like in situations at work. It could be in situations with my friends. It could be in situations with family. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's just like something that you generally start to become aware of if you've been someone who used to just please people all your life. Um, and as you get better at it, you also get better at it. Um, it's just such a wonderful experience, right? And so with all of that realization that, okay, I used to be at a certain level, I came to this level. I sometimes I wonder what it was. Maybe it was depression. I don't know what happened to me, but something happened, and then after that thing happened, I changed. Like, I had a moment of awakening. Like fuck, like if you can't choose, Pastor, I'm sorry I said that word. It's the New Yorker in me. Like, if you can choose someone, then like I ain't choosing you too. So um and that's when everything changed. And everything changed for me. But then it's still been a journey, right? Since um 2015, I've just been trying to find my passion, get promoted at work, doing things to get promoted at work, doing things to better myself financially, trying working at getting debt free has been my one of my number one goal. So that and getting promoted at work to get more income, because like you can be a single, you can be a parent with an agreement with the other parents, but that doesn't mean that like that's what I need to depend on forever. Like, would really be better if people were in situations where they could co-parent. That way I could go out there and make my money, as opposed to being the one that's sitting home and taking care of the children, like, 80% of the time, while the guy is out there running around doing whatever they need to do with their own life. So again, knowing that, I know how I was raised and my standard, and all of that just made me want to get back up. And I knew that whatever my situation was temporary. And I've always looked at my situation as one where, okay, what's the bigger story here? What's the bigger lesson here? What can I be grateful for in this situation that life has dealt me? Like, and with that, I continued to develop myself, to pursue. And when I say develop, I intentionally develop myself for certain things, for work, for job, taking risk, investments to up level, like in professional, taking development classes. Even though generally I'm also a person that loves reading and research, but I also had to invest money. There are times I've taken scholarships on those things, but you also have to set a goal where you know, okay, I this year is a year I'm setting. I'm accepting scholarships this year and next year. Going forward, I'll pay for my thing myself. Like, you don't want to be a welfare person. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I've been on food stamp, I've been on cash assistance, I've been on assistance. I've applied for Section 8, but my thing has always been like, I will be better in life. So, like, I will cut this thing off when I need to cut it off. And it's not because I cut it off because I didn't need it. I cut it off because I knew, like, if I held on to it, it would be a crutch, and that would not help me be better. Like, it holds you down. Like, I know, like, how many fasting and prayer I had to do to get myself cut off of all of the system, the benefits that the system gives you. Again, those benefits are temporary, but what happens is, for some reason, energy is tied into those things, like food stamp, cash assistance, medical assistance. Talk less of getting into a Section 8 house, and then they tell you, like, you have to bring your documents in every year. And like, if you make more money, then the fees will go up. Like, okay, I want my fees to go up. I want to make more money. So, like, if you're saying that if that happens, then you will increase my rent, but like, if you increase my rent, I would rather go live somewhere of my own choosing, not here because like it's a subsidy. So for me, you just have to weigh some of those things as you make um, your decisions to be better, going from survival mode, which is probably really what I was in, to be in a place where you can dream again of a future. And again, that's what this planner I created and the journal will do for you. And so we're on 12 minutes. Let me share some more things. So this journal has really helped me process my thoughts. And I know one thing that I probably left hanging in part one, since this is like a part two of that, was that, oh, during COVID, like, it felt normal to me until my dad passed away. And then everything just destabilized. And the beauty of that was that then I was like everybody else. At that point, like, everything was just off balance. I couldn't function anymore. And then that was when using the planner became really difficult. So from like October till, I think the kids went back to school, I think by the summer. So like by between October and my dad passed and like the summer, I was really struggling to use this journal. And that struggle just seemed weird to me. Like, why was I struggling with the journal? Like, I was using it so well before. Um, but recently, while reading, I also just like anyone who's pursuing a greater walk in with God, read this book. It is called Letters by a Modern Mystic. It's by Frank C. Laubach, and it's a really great book. Um, and what I found out in that book, what that book confirmed for me, was that sometimes things are easy. And that was the gift I got from COVID, where I had all that time to be able to sit down in the morning, to pray, to meditate, to write things in a journal, to read the Bible and process it for a long time. But sometimes those moments will slip away from us because when life gets busier, then it becomes a struggle. So what do you do then? And so I've had whenever I share the journal itself with people, what I often hear people say is like, "Oh my gosh, it's about 7 pages. How do you use that?" Um, and that has been the challenge. It's really hard to do the 7 pages when there is a busy life going on for you. So, what I have been working on in the past couple of weeks is to find a way to streamline this. And then in streamlining it, I have been lucky enough to find out that there's a bit of moving things around that we need to do too. So I myself have struggled, just as a couple of my friends have told me, they've struggled to find time to use this journal. This journal has worked for me again in the past, I'll say 5 days. Um, and that's because I solved a problem that took hours away from me in the morning. And that was my getting my 13-year-old ready for school. As you all know, during COVID, it was from bed to school on the Zoom or Google Hangout. But with COVID, that went away. So that meant we have to get ready in the morning. Um, my current 13-year-old is not a get up and go person in the morning. So it takes a couple of hmm, hours for us to be ready. And so we figured out a way now. So that means I had to find a way that worked for him. And shout out to my the person that does my hair, is because I got this tip from her. And so I had forgotten that when my kids were younger, like we would, I would bake them at night, and then when they woke up in the morning, they had the option of bathing again in the morning if they chose, or they could just towel and do stuff like that. And so that was what she introduced me to again. And so I was like, okay, Jay, you're going to be doing this at night. And what that has done is from something that used to take 2 hours in the morning to get him ready for school, it's like, wake up, get up. Why are you turning around? Why did you fall asleep? Why are you standing? Why are you sitting? And so from all of those little things, we've been able to take the bathing in activity off the morning schedule. So it baits in the nighttime, and then in the morning time, it's just like get ready for school, and that's literally like 20 minutes. I'm not joking. So so what it's done is it's actually given me like an hour and a half. So I guess my question to you is, um, how what can you look at that you can what are you currently doing that you can tweak? What can you ask other people how they're doing it? And just get their advice, how it's worked for them. Like actually share um, the problem, the challenge that you have, which is what I ended up doing with the person who does my hair. It's like, I shared, I was really vulnerable, and I was only vulnerable because I've known her for a long time. So I do not suggest like you just be vulnerable to anyone. Like our vulnerability is sacred. It should only be given to certain people, not everyone. But she was someone who I had shared things with in confidence before. And so she gave me that tip, and turned out that that was the answer that I needed. And it's really solved a lot of problem. So I have my time in the morning back, and I can actually use my planner now, even though it's in a busy season. And what that means is, like, I love waking up early in the morning, and any member of my family will tell you this. Like, they'll be like, Gloria, like, what are you doing up again? Like, it's 5 a.m. Why are you awake? And nobody else wakes up in this house, at least when we're growing up, until like 8 o'clock or something. Um, so let me know in the comment below, like, what life saving or time saving strategy has worked to give you more time or to make you more productive? Like, share in the comment section. Let's see how it would be useful for other people. Okay. And so this planner will be useful to you even if your life is really chaotic at the moment. Like, once you can figure out where to cut time back and where to save time. Um, and again, do that by talking to other people. And so whenever I look down, I'm looking through my list of notes of my talking points. Um, this journal, again, will work for you if you have ever felt like you were made for more or for something better at an early age. And maybe you felt like that thing was taken away from you. Maybe your parents were always working, and as a result, you didn't get their time, and that would cause something in you. Relationship experts say children like that, some of them end up being anxious, some become avoidant, and others, so you just show various traits. You're like a people pleaser, you don't talk, you're always trying to help other people, you're always doing things against your own good self. Um, and as you continue to do that, like, it's almost like you see things that are good for you and then you push the good things away, but like you gravitate towards the bad things. um, and that's not good. But this journal, if you can consistently use it, maybe for a year, that's the journal, then you should be able to see some changes in you. Um, what else? So, what to use it for now is everything that I talked about. Like, you can now use this journal in your daily life. But to be able to use it in your daily life, you have to find out where you're wasting time. And I would suggest, like, you look inwards, pray to find out what is sucking your time. Like I told you, I've gained back about an hour and a half in the morning for worship, for prayer. And if you can, and that what that in turns mean is that I have time for my journaling. Because when I say I've gained back an hour and a half in the morning, that means that is my quiet time. That is what I actually call my morning ritual. That is where I do my spiritual practices. That is where I am praying, I am meditating. That is where I'm grounding myself for the day ahead. And that is what I want for you. What I have found is, so Ephesians, somewhere in Ephesians, I can't remember. Um, I think it's Ephesians 6, tells us to put on the whole armor of God. That is what you're pretty much doing with this journal when you start using it. You are putting on your whole armor, like someone who's in the army or policeman. Like, they're not going out in the morning without pre-testing their guns, to see like if it's going to excuse me, shoot correctly when they use it on the field, right? They're testing their things out. They're pre-testing. They're making sure everything is still intact. That is what this does for you. And this is one of the reasons I feel like between me having the diagnosis for ADHD and just being just a generally anxious person, comes into play. Now, at the end of the day, everything is still tied to the fact that you are not fulfilling your potential. You're not pushing through fear. And that is what this will do to you. You slowly build your confidence back. You'll slowly affirm yourself every day. And you'll slowly continue to serve yourself. You'll serve your greater good. You'll get back to who you used to be before. Like, You'll be able to speak your mind, you'll be able to honor other people and then honor yourself at the same time. You'll be able to say yes to opportunities and no to opportunities. So let's take an example. Let me look down here. Where do I have? So here are some of mine that I started during the COVID. And if you can see, they're in ink. This is how it started. It was just a sheet of paper. Um, so this is January 2020. And some of my 5 daily reminders says, I will affirm what others say. I hear you. I feel you. I will feel the same way too. And that is just words that I decided I would use in conversation with people. So like, I'd been so fast to always maybe say what people are saying is, oh, like I don't agree with you or something. And I'd gotten to a point where, like, people do have a point of view. Just because you believe XYZ doesn't mean that your point of view is invalid. Depending on where your point of view is coming from, you actually do believe in it just as much as I do mine. So some of those words were the words I have on here. I also have, like, I'll make everyone the hero of their story, and I love doing that. But I won't be afraid to say that what's comfortable for me, and to talk with people. So as you continue to use it, you will affirm yourself. Also on here, I have things like, what are my intentions for the day? And so you'll put your intentions. Then there are affirmation, like you affirm yourself, like I am beautiful. Like if you didn't get affirmed when you were younger, you will continue to seek it from people. Like sometimes I remember years ago, my director, when I was working in the nonprofit in DC, like she'd be like, "Oh, Gloria, I love your outfit," and before you knew it, I was like, "Yeah, I got it for $59." And she was like, "I didn't ask you that," and then she was like, "You didn't need to tell me that." I never understood what she would say, but what I should have done would be like, "Oh, thank you so much," and just receive that, just receive the compliments, and that's something we don't know how to do. So if you can take anything out of this video at all, it'll be that, just receive compliments. Like, don't minus if they don't ask you. Now, if the person were to come and be like, "Oh, but where did you get it from? I'd like to get that too." Then you go ahead and offer that information. But like if they didn't ask, why tell? You know? So that's one of the things that this will help you do. It'll also give you time to just sit down and reflect. Um, so you'll reflect on a lot of things, your conversations with people the day before. What can you take back in that conversation? Like, how did you react when your boss told you that the report that you created was too late? Like, what was your reaction? And in that reaction, like, what did you learn about yourself? So you'd find little things like that. And then the great thing is you can go back like a year later and see, like, oh, what did I do on this particular day? I love that for the part that's actually the journaling part, because you get to do like a longer recap of your day. Oh, I met XYZ and he said ABC, and then I met ABC, and then we ate cookies, or we had ice cream, or we went to Fono and we had pizza. Like you get to write details there, or like, oh, my sister and I had a really bad argument. You just write things in there, and you get to see the timeline of how you're resolving those type of conflict. I also have things in there that are like energy trackers. Like, man, like sometimes I'll be tired forever, and what that ends up doing is like you can't produce a lot of stuff. You know, and that's probably just for me, because like I do this business and then I still have my 9 to 5 job. So in my head, I know I already do too much, right? But when you can't even do that side thing, you feel like you're not doing a lot. So there's an energy tracker here, and I kind of always know when I'm productive. Um, and that helps. You also can write your Bible study notes here. I have a little section for Bible study. The journaling part, you can write about dreams and things like that. Um, yeah. So here's another reminder to value yourself. Says, make no, I think that's the same as the other one. Today, I will actively lift up other women in spaces that I am powerful, right? So that means you're intentionally going out and you're affirming other women. Maybe you're the only one in the room. You look for a way to bring other women in. Maybe other women are talking and you see that particular woman at the back and she's not talking. You affirm that person, you bring them in. What am I saying? I am saying that this this journal, excuse me, is amazing. It will transform you if you have been fearful, if you feel like you can't do what you need to do. I'm telling you that you're going to set yourself up in the morning to win throughout your day. I'm telling you that you'll powerfully take your power back from wherever you've given it away, be it in your marriage, be it in your relationship, and be it with your children, be it with your employer, be it with yourself, be it that you've betrayed your own self, like you will take it back, like because you're having time for self-reflection. And when you self-reflect, you can actually correct a lot of things. Self-reflection gives us the ability to be able to look inwards and see how we contributed to our own problem, and then to make the changes that we need to make the next time. Okay, I know some people don't like making mistakes, but there are a group of people who I believe live by mistakes, right? And so if you're one of those people, oh, in my eyes, it's just like blinking, blinking. So if you're one of those people who you learn through your mistakes, which is a bad thing, but also a good thing, because once you learn it, you don't do it again, then this is going to be a really good journal for you, right? So you will be able to use it right now if maybe you don't have kids, you don't have a job that gets you, even if you have, I feel like if you have a busy job, but if you can figure out a way to carve out like an hour and a half every day, that this journal will still benefit you. But I know for a fact that if you have a spouse, if you have in a long-term platonic relationship or what have you, that people that live together, or if you have children that are young, you will have to intentionally carve out time to use this planner and this journal, not the planner. You'll have to intentionally carve out time to use this planner, and but it's going to be worth it because every time you do it, either in the evening or if you do it early in the morning, every time you do it, you will know that you're building a little bit of yourself up. It's almost like the church, you know, the cross. The church symbolizes the cross is the symbol of the church, but it is also made out of parts and pieces of each one of us, lifting each other up. And once you can get yourself to that place, you're building yourself up in the morning or in the nighttime to be able to impact other women the next day. Okay. So also the third, I have this marked as number three on here. So hopefully this is point number three, even though I can't remember if I've said point number three. So bear with me. I'm new to YouTube. Um, I don't do this as much as I did the podcasting. So with this journal, you will need to give yourself grace. And when I say grace, that means that don't stress like on a day when like of the how many pages you have, you were only able to use two. The 2 pages that you write on, when you come back to it, 2 months or 3 months or 6 months down the line, you'll still find information there that's useful to you because you wrote it down. Again, that's because most people forget everything that happens, your conversation. You had a great idea with someone, you were having a conversation. They said, "Oh, your idea is great. Why don't you do XYZ?" You go home, you forget it because again, life makes us forget stuff. Okay. All right. And so I will show you some of the parts of it. So this is the journal. That's a page. And then you'll also get, um, you will get the page for the reflection. You'll be able to write when you're, if you're doing it in the morning or if you're doing it in the nighttime. You'll have questions like, how did I survive today? Did I thrive? Did I flourish? How is my psyche? Again, useful for people, ADHD, anxiety, people who have been traumatized, people whose self-worth have been beaten down, people who have been devalued, disrespected, people that come from a dysfunctional family and just need to do a reset and value their self more, people who've loved too much. Maybe you've loved a man, you've loved your children too much, you've loved a project too much, you've just given too much of yourself away. That is going to work for you. So let me see. And then there is also the energy tracker page right here. And this page also have things about your goals and actions and what else to achieve. I think what we're going to do with this page, which is just notes, write about what you read. So if you read a book that day, then you can, just do that, write about that. And then if you have notes, then you also write about, just things in there. But what I think will end up happening is that the notes will, I think this sheet, because we're trying to reduce the number of pages so it's not too expensive for everyone, is that this might just be like a free downloadable sheet. So I'll keep you posted on that. And what else? What else? What else? There's also a page which may end up also being just a free downloadable, which shows you, which helps you again for someone who is organizationally challenged. Most people with ADHD are. Then this page will actually help you get organized. So if you can do this for 30 or 60 days, like what am I doing in the morning? What am I doing in the evening? What am I doing in the middle of the afternoon? Check. Because truthfully, if you have ADHD, your planner is your second brain going forward. Like I have been able to achieve so much in the last 12 months because I've consistently considered my planner as my second brain. So there is no shame in my game. Like in my office, which is really weird also. Like the other day, my boss was telling me that, oh, Gloria, you take really great notes. And I was like, I take notes because I can't remember stuff and you can. But apparently, look how my, something that didn't appear like it was a skill, but actually ends up being a skill because they're like, okay, she's taking notes, she'll cover all the bases, and then we can compare notes later. So again, just to tell you, like in everything that I do share with people that my planner is my second brain, and when I share that with people, they it's freeing. Like you, you just feel okay with yourself. You feel okay with yourself, you are proud, like there's a confidence that comes with the fact that you're owning that this is a weakness, but I'm owning it. The minute you own it, it is actually no longer a weakness. I know there's a Chinese proverb about that I read somewhere. I cannot remember it now, but yes, there is a proverb, so it's really good. So if you're interested in getting this journal, the hardcover will be coming out soon, and soon meaning I think it's coming out which month? It should be out by the end of this month. It was supposed to be out in the middle of this month, but I've been busy, so busy. And so I am looking forward to it coming out by at least the first week of March. Everything should be ready. And you can get the downloadable link. You can buy it that way on Etsy or on Gumroad, or you can buy it on, just email me and I'll send you the hard package, right? And then you can use that. All right. And so as we wrap up, I just want to thank you so much for coming to this YouTube channel, for listening till the end. I hope that some of the information I shared has been helpful to you. And if it has, let me know in the comment below. Also, let me know what you'd like me to talk about in the future. Again, like I said before, my experience is really wide. I've been taking care of my kids since can't remember the year now, but I've, there are things that I've learned on this journey. And also, I do vision board coaching for people to help you flush out your goals and vision. So you can reach me for that too. I also have a podcast, same name as this YouTube video. So you can check out my podcast. It's called Loving the Work You Do. And it's on Apple, it's on Audible, it's on Amazon. When you get there, let me know what you think by dropping me a hello in the comments. And don't forget that you can also stop by my webpage, shelovesgoodthings.com, and just check out everything that we have on there. There are free resources for you that can make life better for you or even for someone that you know. But again, if you have any suggestions for questions that you'd love to have answered, please drop them in the comment section below. And my hope for the world is that everyone gets rid of fear, of anxiety, and that everyone learns to master their inner voice, right? And discover their own strength and their superpower. And they powerfully use it and so that they can live their authentic life. Like, I want you showing up every day as you, like, and I want people to live embodied. I want people to feel things in their body, in their spirit, and know that it is right or it is wrong, to walk the path to authenticity, to not live anybody else's lie. And sometimes we live other people's lives by following what they tell us to do. So they say, oh, don't dress that way. So you end up not dressing that way. They say, don't talk that way. You end up not talking that way. They say, do this. So you do that. And then as you do those things, you are in conflict internally with yourself, and that also makes you sick inside. Like, it affects your health, it affects your psyche, like it affects your emotion, it affects the way you shape up in the world. So it's like every day that you kind of go against the way God created you, every day you do that, you lose a little bit of yourself. And I say that because even though the world, we've defined whatever this condition that I have as anxiety and ADHD, it is possible also that only God is the one that knows what it really is. But whatever it is it makes you really super sensitive. So you're a highly sensitive person, you're an empath. You can sense things before other people. You're so spiritually attuned, you're super emotional. You have a good heart, you're patient, you're compassionate, right? Like, you are a really great person. But those same skills, when not nurtured properly, makes you a prey to people that will just all your life not use you, not affirm you. So if your parents are like really strong people and then they give birth to you, a person who's compassionate, who's gentle, who's like reserved, who speaks their mind, and every day they nag at you, stop talking, stop talking. Then nobody asks you, why are you asking that question? Da 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 da. All those things will slowly bring you down, or like they're never around. And so, like, for you to get their love and affection, like, you have to play down yourself. And I see it playing out in children sometimes, where Like with my kids, if the father doesn't show up, like when he does show up, they can have like a whole range of needs. But instead of talking about like five needs, they just talk about one. Can you just see how that diminishes you? Every day, every day, every day, every year, every year. And so you lose a little bit of you. So, again, as we wrap up, again, like I said, please comment below any questions you'd love me to share, to answer in the future. It could be about budgeting. It could be about how to ground yourself, spiritual practices that help you, or spiritual practices that have helped me become to take my power back because I wasn't like this a couple of years ago. Um, it could also be about journaling and planning your time and organizing your time. Just share with me in the comment below. I look forward to doing more of these videos to talk about life stuff. But as of today, just let me know what you think. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching. Um, See you on the interwebs.